With this issue of The Big Picture, we are marking the end of our 6th year of programming. Since the time when The Big Picture first went on the air, there have been many revolutionary changes in the organization of the Army. A strong and efficient Army, able to fight any foe, any time, any place, and on any terms, is as essential to our national safety today as it has been throughout our history. The imposing array of responsibilities which rest upon our Army today are matched by its impressive accomplishments in the development and employment of powerful new weapons, streamlined organization, and atomic battlefield tactics. In every area, weapons, equipment, training, organization, and tactical doctrine, the Army is developing maximum power and flexibility to ensure that it will be able to get its troops where they are needed, when they are needed, and with the firepower punch needed for victory. We have built our Army into a new, streamlined force, new in concept, new in mobility, new in powerful atomic weapons and other modern equipment, and with a new dual capability. An Army prepared to cope with the possibility of unlimited nuclear warfare, as well as with the more likely contingency of limited local aggression. The war in Korea hastened the development of this modern Army. Korea was called by various names: brush fire, police action. But to the men who fought there, it was war. The first Big Picture produced was a documentary of that crucial period in our history, and we are indeed proud to present it again. Here now, the first 40 days.
This story is hard to tell, painful, because our outfit was in training a few weeks ago. Some of the boys who were with us aren't around anymore. They were good men, good soldiers. They had learned to fight, and they had the guts for fighting. But when it came, it was like a sock on the back of the head. Korea started rough. The first 40 days were a battle for time, with a handful of men against an army. Yes, they were good men, good soldiers. And no story of the Korean War can be told without saying first how well they fought against great odds. In the beginning, there were only a couple of companies from the 24th Division. No brass bands at the airport. A few days before, some of us had been in civvies, spending leave time at Fuji, something like that. We weren't scared. We didn't know. We got stuff out of the planes. We moved out. Nobody said, "This is it." Nobody said, "You have arrived in Korea to beat back 5 North Korean communist divisions." Somebody did say, "We're here to delay the Reds. Okay, let's go." About 10% of us were veterans. A few roads looked like France, somewhere between Paris and Metz. Mostly the soldiers were young. No battle experience. They smiled a lot. They made the whole lot of us look like good-natured Yanks, glad to see a new town. Now, some of these boys enlisted to travel. But whoever sees travel posters about Korea, relax, come to the land of the morning calm. At first, the towns looked like any towns in this part of the world. And the South Korean troops like any soldiers. You know, they worry about the same things and get tired. I mean, tired. We all wanted to ask, what was it like up there? What kind of fighting, terrain, tactics, guns? But as far as we were concerned, those Koreans couldn't talk. We were in a completely foreign country with no time to get acquainted. They emptied a town. Hardly a thing left. You couldn't buy anything, even if you had the time. Which we didn't have. There are two ways of getting to know the terrain: walking over it and feeling how it was underneath. Underneath it was caked and sticky. The tools of a soldier's trade: a shovel and a gun. We had small stuff with us: machine guns, some howitzers. It was hard to believe. 1, 2, 3, we were smack in the middle of a war. Guns ready, aimed north, against an enemy that would look exactly like our friends, the South Koreans. These troops had seen action. They didn't have to speak. Their clothes spoke. Their shoes spoke. Their eyes spoke. We got set. Like I said, when it came, it was fast and it was all around us. They threw everything at us. We answered. We went ahead. It was like D-Day with no warning. Those kids, they became veterans overnight. Tough, hard, nervy. They moved as if they'd been with us all through Germany. There were too many North Koreans with too much heavy equipment, especially tanks. What can men with guts do against tanks? A bazooka was some defense, but there were too many tanks and too few bazookas. Day after day, it was pull back and fight again. There were too many of them. You wouldn't know where they'd come from. The rice paddies would lie quiet. We'd hide in the shadows, trying to look like a hut or a cornfield or a rice paddy. Concealment was one of our weapons. There were too many of them. The boys pulled back, tired as dogs. Because whenever they'd meet the Reds head on, the Reds had enough men to fight us on the front and on our flanks, too. We knew it, and it was hard to face. We were hurting. Kids would drag back so beat up they couldn't be expected to fight for at least several days. Instead of a week at a rest area, we grabbed an hour anywhere. Took a shower. Sat down. Lay down. Seemed like the greatest pleasure in life was to give the feet a chance to breathe. We fell back to new positions. If you looked around at some of the foxholes, you could see a deep respect for those red mortars. Very deep. We were short on men. South Koreans carried our ammo. But we didn't know what some of the others were carrying. Turned out that many of the silent refugees filing along the South Korean roads were North Korean communists in disguise. They'd sneak through our lines and fight us from behind. We caught some, but infiltration caused plenty of casualties. We were going to watch the refugees more carefully from now on. This was a big police job in Korea, the biggest. The attack was full-sized, had to be stopped. The United States Army, a small part of it, was here to help. There'd be men in other uniforms fighting with us soon. The whole world had seen this and knew what the score was. Up near the guns, the score was against the enemy. They were losing points, losing time. There were tough decisions, but we had leaders who could make them. General Walker and General Dean. Yes, our outfits were winning. They were holding back the enemy until help could arrive. We didn't feel it yet, but reinforcements were on the way. It takes time to pour a defense program into a small country with almost nothing. Not all the stuff can get there overnight, even in an age when we're used to things traveling 400 or 500 miles an hour. Oh, we needed tanks. And jeeps soon. If some of the boys at the front could have heard the winches grind at the port, that would have been sweet music. And if something, television maybe, could have shown us the soldiers who were going to fight with us soon, maybe it would have been easier. As it was, the outfits in the foxholes needed every half-track and howitzer and tank they could get, and more, and the men to go with them. Yes, our mission in the lines was delay. Delay the Red Drive in Korea. Delay it so we could get jeeps. Delay it so we could get weapons carriers and weapons and more ammo. Get it to us, men and equipment, wet or dry. Because it was still rough going for us. And it would stay that way for months, maybe longer, until enough men would be in Korea to strike back. Yes, it was Operation Delay. Ammo was precious. One field artillery battalion against 40 tanks. We'd hold them off for a few hours in a blasting frontal attack. The Reds would envelop us on both flanks. Always trouble up ahead and trouble on the sides. We drew back south of the Kum River, burned our bridges behind us. People in big cities like Pittsburgh are bothered by smoke. Now, this smoke was black, but it didn't bother us a bit. Yes, smoke can look good when it's where you want it. There were plenty of times when the smoke was too close. Got in your eyes, so you couldn't see anything. You can take a lot, but when your buddies get hit, it hits you inside. Nobody says much, just so-and-so got it. Or so-and-so has been evacuated, he'll be okay. Or so-and-so's been evacuated. Back of us, units from the 25th Infantry Division and the 1st Cavalry Division were unloading now, with baggage. All of it first class, urgent. The tanks were light jobs. They sped north where they were most needed. Smaller than the Russian monsters, but still a wonderful sight. Nothing was too good for a tank in this territory. The boys treated them like babies. They went over them from top to bottom, called them pet names. They cleaned them up better than for inspection. That's cleaning. Their tanks had heavier armor. In a duel, that was their advantage. But our advantage was some fine sharpshooters. They had giants. We had giant killers. Tejon was the worst. Ask anyone where he felt it the worst, and maybe you'll hear a few other names, because it was bad all over. But most guys will say Tejon. Some places we were just outnumbered. But in Tejon, we were outnumbered, outgunned, out-tanked, and outflanked. We pushed out, trying to poke a hole in their lines. No go. We tried another direction. But at the end of every road leading out of Tejon, there were thousands of North Korean troops, plenty of T-34 tanks. It got kind of confusing. There was one hot day, 100 degrees, where we just sat. There was no place to go. It was war, not the way it is in the movies. We were all tired, including General Dean. Flank attacks had cut every escape route. We gassed up, ready for a move. We were supposed to hold this hot town for 2 days. We held it for 3. It was get out or be trapped in Tejon. We got out. We fought our way out. General Dean stayed behind. He may still be there. It was a bad road out of Tejon. Some guys didn't make it. Tejon was burning, a dead town. The men who got out were heroes. The men who didn't get out they were heroes. There's no better word. By this time, the new outfits were in the lines. Fresh, ready to shoot. Everything set just right. Nice to hear the steady crump of your own mortars. Even nicer to hear the howitzers slamming them out. Together, they're terrific. Our morale went up 5,000%. We had some pressure now. We turned it on and forced a victory. At a time like this, frontline chow tasted better than pheasant under glass. The rally was short. One outfit might do okay for a day, but on that same day, 5 other sections of the front line would be feeling the enemy's hard blows, the envelopments, the infiltrations. Some of our strongest attacks were by patrols, small groups battered by the enemy, beaten by the mountains, falling down tired. After climbing over half a dozen mountains, it made you more tired just to look at them. Felt like the bear who went over the mountain and saw another mountain. Getting anywhere in Korea was back-breaking work. You did it the Korean way, slowly. You were the bulldozer. No push-pull, click-click up here to throw a bridge across a stream in 4 or 5 hours. Every rock added up. Even the little ones. You work 2-3 days to put an outfit on the other side of a stream. The rainy season and the Korean super highways didn't help us get around. Wherever we went, we built our way. It was no good having any drag with the engineers. They had their own troubles. You were the engineers. In this battle, you did everything. Build, fight, hold, pull back, and destroy. Whenever we were about to leave a place, we planted it carefully. TNT. Planted it not deep, just deep enough so it would come up the way we wanted it to. The better you plant it, the better it comes up. A second story job. This kind of gardening went on quite frequently. Very relaxing work. We were going to stall them up and down the whole front. And someday there'd be a turnabout that would pay those North Koreans off for what we'd been taking. And then we might have to put back all these bridges. We slowed them, but we couldn't stop them. Fighting is fighting, always rough. But it's rougher when you're forced to pull back. We gave them ground, they gave us time. We used every barrier, every river to make a stand. It was the best way of saving men. They beat us back to the Naktong, but we got there early enough to make it across. The Naktong was a pretty useful river. No king ever had a moat around his castle so wide and protecting. It felt like a new division was in the lines. Plenty of outgoing mail went across the Naktong River. If you've seen combat, you know what it is to have a line, a place to fight from. Well, for the first time in this Korean business, we had something we could call a line. All during the fighting, we had air power. If they had had it, we might have been through. Air power did plenty of damage to everything the enemy had and wanted to bring up. Those guys flew so low, they should have had bayonets on their propellers. In a corner of Korea, a little bigger than a beachhead, we dug in, built a village of foxholes. Only here you couldn't dig too deep on account of the rocks. On this beachhead, a lot of the boys who flew in at the beginning were still around, still smiling. There's waiting in every war. Time to find out where you were, how you were doing. We faced the enemy. We faced ourselves. Our enemies were fanatics. We were believers in one faith, that men can live together peacefully, thinking, feeling, worshiping, each in his own way. You couldn't think about anything for very long when you were planning new moves, new delaying tactics. We pulled down the bridges. We wrecked the roads. The steep hills around us were rugged. We'd made them more rugged for the enemy. Beyond our foxholes, we unwound some vines of our own with thorns. And beyond the tight ring of our perimeter, the enemy closed in, pushing us hard, threatening the death blow that would throw us back into the sea. How long could we hold? How long? The battle hung in the balance. And then swung to us. A great force reached Korea, and a new strategy that gave the North Korean army a battle from 3 sides at once. Replacements, new units, lively, ready for business. They stole along the hills, slipped up the ridges, looking for a soft spot in the enemy's hard shell. We gave it to them steady, all up and down the line, all at once. The air dusty, smoky. This was what we used to get when we first hit Korea. Victory never comes easily. You have to be in a fight to see how tough it is. See how in an attack, guys stumble back, needing others to look after them. Always plenty of trouble. It takes men and machines to knock out a strong enemy. And as you go forward, you can expect to lose some of those who start out with you. Yes, some went back, their feet heavy, their steps slow. Kids who became men, men whose hollow-faced look showed that they'd been in the lines too long. You can't count on a straight road to victory. Sometimes it winds, goes down, goes up. Sometimes you're forced to detour. You could pick out the new troops. They walked different. Another outfit. But if you gave them the once-over, they were like the fellas in our outfit when we landed. The same smiling Yanks, making the best of everything. And a little better than that. We battled for time in Korea and won. We had the right men. Good men. Good soldiers.
Since the signing of the truce agreement at Panmunjom, our army has undergone radical changes. Changes which will let us strike back faster, more forcefully should another brush-fire war break out anywhere in the world. Now this is Sergeant Stuart Queen, your host for The Big Picture.
The Big Picture is an official television report for the armed forces and the American people. Produced by the Army Pictorial Center. Presented by the United States Army in cooperation with this station.
Exposure, disclosure, cannibalism. Judas keeps being hung politically. Of course, today somebody offered me peace. I, of course, declined that offer. Peace stems from the word pax, P-A-X, a pact, a promise. That is the kiss of death. When you go through the United States Incorporated's documentary evidence, you find that that is all they offer. The etymology on peace, quote, freedom from civil disorder. Can't have you outside of that box. You've got to be ordered civilly. Peace, reconciliation, silence, permission. From Latin, pacem, pax, compact, agreement, treaty of peace, tranquility, and the absence of what looks like war. Well, by golly, that is politics. That is democratic society in a nutshell. Demo meaning people, and kratos meaning to control or possess. Peace. That is what the United States Incorporated offers everybody. Promises, agreements, pacts, the kiss of death. Do you want to enter into that pact with Judas? No, I do not. I refuse your offer and I repudiate you. Satan, get thee behind me. Now today it was interesting to see at the BBC.com Law graduate Rhiannon Brooker jailed over false rape claims. A law graduate who falsely accused her boyfriend of rape as an excuse for failing her exam has been jailed for 3.5 years. Is the whore of Babylon being held accountable? She entered into that peace agreement, that compact with the attorneys, and falsely accused a male. And this, of course, is what was normalized for her for the very longest time under the political tool of feminism. Feminism said that she could be lawless under those burglary constitutions. Let's see what Jesus said. Matthew 10. I've gone through so much of this walk, and the first few years I was seeking peace. I just wanted this to end, but that's not peace. Peace is an agreement. It's a treaty. It's a confederacy. It's a icky, gross, black, disgusting thing. That's what Jesus said too in Matthew 10. Matthew 10:34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law, and man's foes shall be they of his own household. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And he that taketh not his own cross, and followeth after me, is not worthy of me. He that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. He that receiveth you receiveth me, and he that receiveth me receiveth him that sent me. He that receiveth a prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward. And he that receiveth a righteous man in the name of a righteous man shall receive a righteous man's reward. And whosoever shall give to drink unto one of these little ones a cup of cold water only in the name of the disciple, verily I say unto you, he shall in no wise lose his reward. Now, of course, there's two different forms of death that are maintained in there. There's the death of the body, and then there's the death of a lifestyle, a concept. What you find in this life may not be what is perfect for you. And so, of course, at the resurrection, that would indicate that you lose a lifestyle. However, your body carries on, so you would continue and find life again on the other side of that needle.
以往嘅優勢唔要。冇錯，冇錯，冇錯。大家冇走。你咁快抽啲
물이 엄청 많이 불어 있었어요. 두만강이 이제 비가 많이 와가지고 그쪽은 이제 그 강이 이제 그 뭐랄까요 계곡성 그런 물이라 이제 부르면 이제 엄청 불고 물살이 심하죠. 근데 뭐 이제 떠났으니까 잡히면 이제 죽고 하니까 어차피 이제 그 길을 재촉했는데 강을 건너다가 이제 물에 빠졌죠. 이제 뭐 저 같은 경우에는 뭐 한 다리 갖고 이제 목발을 의지해가지고 이제 넘어오다 보니까 물에 빠져서 밤에 두만강을 건넜어요. 건너다가 이제 물에 빠져서 이제 떠내려가고 있었죠. 제가 이제 죽는구나 싶었는데 남동생이 이제 그 헤엄쳐서 내려와가지고 저를 좀 구해주다 보니까 이제 일단은 두만강 1차적으로 건넜고 제가 이제 떠날 당시 이제 아버지는 이제 함께 떠날 수 있는 상황이 아니었어요. 그래서 아버지는 좀 그 당시에 이제 몸도 많이 아프셨고 하셔서 저희가 어떻게 모시고 떠날 상황이 아니어서 그리고 그때 당시까지는 아버지가 살아 계셨어요. 그리고 근데 태국에서도 이제 북한 땅에다가 이제 그 전화 통화를 하고 했는데 그때 당시에는 이제 그 저희가 이제 다 이제 지금 없어졌으니까 이제 북한 그 보위부에서 이렇게 딱 집을 감싸고 사람이 들어 못 간다 하더라고요. 그래서 그 정도를 알고 이제 한국으로 넘어왔는데 한국 와서도 이제 그 주민등록증을 받고 사회에 나오기까지 한 6개월이라는 시간이 걸리죠. 그래서 저는 그렇게 시간이 오래 걸리는 건 몰랐고 그냥 이제 내가 넘어가면 바로 아버지 모셔올 줄로 믿었는데 시간이 다 걸리고 이제 나와서 아버지를 모셔오려고 북쪽에다가 지금 전화를 하니까 아버지가 지금 돌아가셨다 그런 이야기를 들었어요. 그래서 제가 전화를 한 때로부터 이제 일주일 전에 이제 돌아가서 장례를 치렀는데 서울 사람.
고기 1년에 2번 먹어요. 돼지고기. 한 번은 이제 설명절, 그러니까 신정이지. 신정 때 한 번 먹고, 추석 때 한 번 먹고. 예, 예. 그러니까 소고기는 없어요. 그러니까 소를 잡아먹으면 사형당해요. 소는 이제 이 농산일 하잖아요. 그걸 시켜야 되기 때문에 사람보다 소가 더 힘 많이 쓰잖아요. 이제 평양 올라가는 거예요. 그러니까 높은 사람들은 먹죠. 그리고 이제 자기들을 키워서 이제 잡아먹기도 하는데 일반 주민들은 다 못 먹게 해요.
좋은 점은 저희가 꿈을 마음껏 펼칠 수 있다는 거죠. 제가 북한에 있을 때 4년 동안 직장생활 했는데 그곳에서는 정부에서 주어지는 그런 직업을 가지고 평생 동안 살아야 돼요. 부모가 완전 파워 엘리트라던가 아니면 그냥 정말 그런 신분 제도 같은 것이 있어가지고 신분이 좋으면 정말 발전할 수 있는 길이 무한대로 열려있지만 그렇지 못한 일반 사람들은 정말 주어진 직업 가지고 60년, 네, 그쵸. 한 50년 동안을 그 직업에 종사해야 되는 것이 북한의 그런 실상이거든요. 근데
북한에서 이제 학교를 졸업하기 전에 이제 16살 때 이제 교통사고 이제 당하게 됐어요. 저는 이제 북한에서의 삶이라는 것은 더 이제 형은 알 수 없는 그런 삶 속에서 살았고, 북한의 장애인들이라는 건 죽어도 그냥 개취급이에요. 그냥 죽으면 그냥 죽었구나 이럴 사람들이 이럴 정도로 하는데,
아, 15만원? 한 달에 15만원? 예. 저희 프렌즈? 제가 아는 친구가 이제, 제가 집이 없어서, 이제 여기 좀 싸고, 이게 보증금도 적게 드는 그런 집 알려줬어요.
북한 땅을 떠나서 이제 대한민국까지 오는 기간에 1만 킬로라는 여정이 이제 그 거리를 돌아와야 되고, 또 중국도 군인들 국경 쪽에 쫙 풀었어요. 그리고 이제 외통길 같은 데도 다 차단하고 탈북자들 이제 중국이 들어모으게끔 거기서 이제 체포해가지고는 북한으로 북송하죠. 남한으로 가는 과정에 이제 체포돼서 북송되는 사례들도 많고, 또 가다가 이제 사막이나 이런 곳에서 죽는 사람들도 많고 하다 보니까 둘 중에서 한 명은 꼭 살아남자 이런 생각으로 이제 갈라지게 됐죠. 그래서 남동생은 먼저 들어가는 이제 팀 사람들하고 그룹을 만들어서 이제 떠났고, 저는 이제 후에 떠나게 됐거든요.
학생 신분이고 경제적인 여력 그런 수입이 안 들어오니까 그런데 앞으로는 또 노력해서 이제 또 큰 이보다 나은 집을 쓰고 살 수도 있고, 근데 그래도 이게 작은 집에서 살고 북한의 큰 집보다 이 집이 더 작아도 여기가 행복해요. 자유롭고 참 내가 하고 싶은 무엇을 다 할 수 있고
I thought my feet were wet. I heard that before, like two guys came out and did whiskey. I don't know.
This is Ruski. I mean Russian.
Ruski.
Yeah.
How dare he?
They don't know. You know.
Oh no, I don't want to.
For us, the European people, Finland.
Oh yeah.
Alive. And for yours, the Asian people are Lydia. Alive.
Well, until I married,
Can you distinguish each other? Do you finish Chinese, Korean? Now? Can you?
Yeah. I mean, it's difficult sometimes. But I think Koreans have a certain look to them, and the Japanese have a certain look to them. And the Chinese are tough because there's Southern Chinese, Northern Chinese. You know, you can use it to differentiate. Thai, Cambodian. Wow, that's impressive. similar depth of subway, but not this even. Almost. put pennies here, and it just goes all the way down. Or chocolate, it just slides. I've never seen a subway this deep before. This could be a bomb. This could be a bomb shelter too. It's so deep. That's the railway station. Okay. Right. Okay.
다 됐으니까 되겠다는 생각하고
last one is the beer bar.
Beer bar, okay.
Yeah. That is optional.
Do you drink beer? A little bit? Or?
Not a lot, only one glass.
Oh, it's brewed here, the beer.
Yeah,
Draft beer.
It's 5 pounds of beer.
5 pounds? R&B?
5 kinds of
Oh, 5,
beer.
okay.
Yeah.
5 kinds of beer. Do you want to have a quick drink and leave? Do you want to have a quick drink?
No.
Really? Well, I'll give you buy around a group of round.
And they're gonna feed it students with imported cheese, not green cheese, to Sweden and sold it them. A piece for 120 euro. It's about $1,600.
Really? See, there's money to be made in trade.
$150. That's about $150.
Morning in Pyongyang. Sunday. It's like a greenhouse, and this is the river and the hotel. Out for a stroll.
Only in North Korea. Whee! The gate to the hotel. If I want to, I would just keep on walking. How much of a gate is it? What lies beyond this place? Good morning. Golfing. Well, it's been okay so far. The fact is, North Korea needs America. International Film Festival I don't know. I only see Korean films though.
Yes. Of the President Kim Il-sung, and the mother of the General Kim Jong-il.
She's buried here.
Yeah. She also attended the anti-Japanese struggle. You know, all these past, the persons attended anti-Japanese revolutionary struggle. That is Mayday Stadium. Arirang Festival takes place there.
Okay. Okay. That is an
Mayday.
absolute.
And the title of him when he died, I mean the commander of the Korean People's Army, and the birthday, first
Okay.
line, and the second is when
Okay.
he attends and she had the illness, serious illness, so
Okay.
present as the general.
Very beautiful.
This temple was first built in 392.
Okay.
In the year 392, in the period of Goguryeo dynasty. And it was completely ruined during the war because the bombs of the USA.
Okay.
And in 1982 it was reconstructed just like the state, original one.
This was bombed, a temple? It was terrible.
and you can enjoy your last life, the rest of your life.
여기 에피소드를 그때부터 그대로 남아있을 수 있습니다.
These stones, these 소나무게
성소나무로 지는 한 소나무가 있습니다.
These are gods to keep four sides of the direction, north, south, east, and west.
Okay.
상복사 성문입니다.
This is the monk of this temple.
이 탑은 팔각 어성탑입니다.
No, it's okay. You don't have to carry this. Thank you. Take bus to work or
metro.
metro's not so busy.
Metro is more convenient.
I think so. In Hong Kong is like that. They have it's so busy that they have their guards push people in with sticks. Their job is to push people in. It's kind of, it works, it's effective. That's Lenin there. Lenin.
Lenin and next.
We're here.
This building. This building is the Central History Museum. And behind that, there is the Costumes Museum.
Costumes?
Costumes.
Okay.
National Costume Museum. And this square was first opened for the parade. For the parade of the military parade after the victory of the war, Korean War.
Okay.
You know, the Korean War finished on July 27th, 1953.
Right.
And on the next day, July 28th, we have got the military parade here. But at that time, the square was not very big like this, and it was modernized in 1960s.
Okay.
And we set up the Juche area in 1982 on the birthday of the 70th birthday of the President Kim Il-sung to convey the Juche idea, which was created by the President Kim Il-sung. The height is 170 meters high, and the touch is 20 meters high. Three-person group in front of the tower. They are holding the symbols of a party mark.
Okay.
Worker, farmer, and intellectual.
Yeah, I see the three. Who else are we missing? Worker, farmer, intellectual.
Yeah.
It's kind of the whole gamut of industry.
We put intellectual in the middle.
As a tour guide, are you an intellectual or a worker? As a tour guide, are you intellectual or are you a worker?
Intellectual.
Your profession.
Yeah, because for about intellectual, I think he used their brains.
Right.
Yeah. It means we belong to intellectuals.
Okay.
Half workers.
Because I feel less like an intellectual. I feel more like a worker. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes.
And the government puts the policy of the educate all the entire people. Not only there is not a certain professional. Okay, can I take it? Or study while working system. We can study at the factory university at night. Really? Study while working system.
So they can.
And you can't stop working so you can choose.
Okay. So,
how they want working.
So to study English as a factory worker is okay?
Yeah. Can you see the words on the apartment building?
One single
Single-heartedly. Units.
Yes.
As the one single-heartedly.
Okay.
Single-heartedly unit.
Okay.
Understand? And the residential areas as a background of the tower.
Symmetrical.
On April 15th, we have got firework around this tower area. Fireworks.
Nice. On which day?
April 15th.
April 15th. Let's see, Independence.
April 15th is the birthday of
Birthday.
President Kim Il-sung, and we regard that April 15th is the Sun's Day. Sun's Day. Sun's Day means, you know, President Kim Il-sung is regarded a certain son of our nation who saved the nation from two imperialists, and he built up a socialist country. We regard President Kim Il-sung as the forefather of the socialist country. You know, there are famous kings in our history. In the, you know, the Korea was existed 5,000 years, 4,000 years.
Right.
At the time, Dangun, King Dangun, was the first forefather who built up the Asians on the education of his son from a very young age. You know,
His father?
yeah, his father. His
what
father
did his father-
educated President Kim Il-sung
Right. What did
to get patriotism.
what did his father, Kim Il-sung's father, what was his profession?
His profession was teacher in Korea.
Okay.
But professionally, he was a professional revolutionary. He, at the age of the 17, Father Kim Yong-ji organized a certain group. I mean, a certain nationwide unity association.
Okay. In Korea?
In Korea, but that organization was known to Japanese police, so he was criminated by the Japanese police. So he was captured.
Oh.
Twice.
Twice.
Yeah. The first time when the President Kim Il-sung was 5 years old. 이거만 갔다 오다가 집중이 났거나 이제 와서 집중이 났거나
갔다 오다가 지금.
On the way back we can stop.
much traffic. Bizarre. This is really beautiful. The white paint on the tree, the white, is that for insects? The tree, there's white insects, okay. I see that on so many trees. And more traditional homes.
Yeah, which was held the memorial service.
Okay.
They prepare a lot of things, and they sometimes they sleep here to keep the grave.
Wow.
oldest official is near king, and the young official is outside of the king.
Okay.
And for the military official, the old one is outside of the king, the younger one is inside.
Okay.
Because the old military service official can have the more experience to defend the
Right.
country. Yeah.
Right.
And around the tomb there are 12 sheep and the tigers. And around one each tomb there is engraved the god gems were engraved together with the king.
Right.
But when the Japanese entered the country, they first explored, unearthed the tomb first, the king's tombs
Yeah.
first. So they can't open this tomb. This one is exploded.
Okay. So what was found inside of the tomb? Was it empty?
Maybe coffin?
Coffin?
I don't know. And that's part also.
Okay.
In Goryeo dynasty, their religion was Buddhism. So the flower of the Buddhism is so from olden time they used marble.
Marble, okay.
Yeah.
A lot of granite too, it looks like.
Can you see the opposite mountain?
Yeah.
Hill. It is called oh my god. To pick the place for their tombs is most important and significant event in their lives.
Sure, so they're going to spend the rest of their eternity.
The place for the tomb must be encircled by the mountains.
Right.
Not to get the influence of the winds. And in front, the way must be open to see area. Okay?
Yeah. That's a beautiful spot.
So he designed himself creatively.
Okay.
So such a tomb can be created.
This is a beautiful space.
Yeah. Usually normal people they take the geisha.
Yeah.
The geisha belong to the government building.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
And there was a very famous geisha in this Kaesong area. She is called Hangjin.
Hangjin.
Hangjin. And the Kaesong people say that they have won the 3 prizes in Kaesong, and among them is Hangjin. The geisha Hangjin is one of the beauty in Kaesong City, and another one is the waterfall.
Waterfall.
Yeah, Bagyeon waterfall. And another person is the famous the Korean.
Yeah.
Koreanist man, So Gyung-dong.
Now, is there a male geisha? Probably not. Entertains women?
No.
Maybe nowadays there are. Exactly.
China, yeah.
And it's the same with Japan. Like they don't try to have sex, because if they do, then the women won't come back. They'll get everything they wanted from the men, so they just try to entertain them and all that. So they don't.
Yeah.
The last thing they want to do is have sex. Like this way, the women keep coming back.
But in that period,
Yeah.
the high tone geisha doesn't sell the
Right.
body.
Exactly.
Only sing song and
Which makes her more desirable.
yeah. So regard her as the pride of the Kaesong City, and you know she didn't remain any child.
Right.
Yeah. So that grave is kept by the people.
I see. Okay. So
Yeah. That means that she's very famous. The king.
the king, right?
I mean, the king in Lee dynasty
British movie star. Yeah.
She will maybe queen, maybe maybe better opportunity to have a nice career.
Probably. She's running some company. Sometimes.
Mostly.
Okay.
Not mostly. Maybe 10% to 20% women they try to serve, but not
Okay.
many.
Okay.
But for men, nearly 80 or 90% men, they want to serve the army.
Okay.
Because they think that serving the army is a kind of the cost of their life.
Right. The discipline and
Not really discipline, but they regard it as that their cost of their life become to be major person.
soldier, major. Okay.
Yeah. You know, during the serving in the army, their spirit also grew up.
Yeah.
Not only physically, but also mentally.
Right.
Yeah. And they know how to deal with the difficulties during the army time.
Now with like Iraq and these other wars, people are disillusioned. They think that the government is sending them to fight in wars which are not necessary.
Dispatch.
Yeah. So the only people joining the army now are
우리도 아니 가고 우리도 용주 올라갔죠.
아유 가방을 누가 놓고 밥 먹고 사는 길이래요.
So this is my dinner for one. Bazaar, 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 bazaar,